Tonight I want to ask you a simple question, one that could shift your entire perspective. Why not you? Think about it. Every person you admire, every story you scroll past online, every success that seems untouchable, they're all human. They started somewhere. They struggled. They doubted themselves. And yet they found a way to push through. So why not you? Why can't you be the one who finally gets it together, starts that business, improves their health, fixes their mindset, or takes that leap you've been holding off on? We often put successful people on pedestals. We tell ourselves they're different. Maybe they had better connections, more money, more talent, more luck. But behind every win is someone who made a choice. They decided to act even though they were scared, even though they weren't ready, even though the voice in their head screamed that they couldn't. The truth is, you already have what you need. Maybe not all the answers, maybe not a perfect plan, but enough to start. And starting is what separates dreamers from doers. So tonight I want you to sit with that question. Not as a throwaway motivational line, but as something real. Why not you? Think about how many times you've stopped yourself before even trying. You've thought, I'm not ready yet. Or, someone else would be better at this. Or, I'll do it when the timing feels right. The timing never feels right. The people who succeed don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it by showing up. Why not you? Why not be the one who stops waiting for external permission? Nobody is coming to tap you on the shoulder and tell you it's time. That moment you're waiting for, where everything lines up, where you suddenly feel confident and capable, that's a myth. Confidence comes after action, not before it. If you're afraid of failing, good. That means you care. But failure isn't the end, it's just data. Every failure sharpens you, teaches you, redirects you. If you're afraid of looking dumb, remember, everyone looks dumb at first. The first workout looks awkward. The first video feels clumsy. The first time you step outside your comfort zone, it feels like everyone is watching, but they're not. They're too busy worrying about themselves. So why not you? Why not be the one who chooses courage over comfort? Because the reality is, someone is going to succeed. Someone will launch the channel, write the book, start the business, change their life. And the only real difference is who decides to stop sitting on the sidelines. Here's the truth. You already know what you need to do. You've probably been carrying the answer for months, maybe years. The idea you push aside. The dream you shelve because it feels too big. The person you could become if you finally gave yourself a shot. Why not you? It's easy to believe other people deserve success more. Maybe they're smarter. Maybe they're more disciplined. Maybe they had a smoother start. But every success story you've ever seen is written by a flawed human who simply chose to keep going. And so can you. Stop telling yourself stories that lock you in place. Stop rehearsing excuses that sound responsible but are really fear in disguise. I'll wait until next year. I'll try when I have more money. I'll do it when I feel ready. The truth is, none of that matters. What matters is the decision to begin. Your brain wants to keep you safe, but safe isn't fulfilling. Safe is repeating the same year on a loop. Safe is looking back and realizing you never gave yourself permission to try. So here's the challenge. Rewrite the script in your head. Replace I can't with why not me? Replace someday with today. Because the people who change their lives aren't the smartest, luckiest, or most talented. They're the ones who finally ask the right question and answer it with action. Think about the people you admire. Athletes, creators, entrepreneurs, leaders. At one point, they were ordinary people staring at a choice, stay where they are, or take the risk. They didn't know what would happen. They didn't have a guarantee. They just asked, why not me? And took a step. That's all it takes, one step. The first step doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be quitting your job or turning your life upside down. It can be small. Writing the first page. Filming the first video. Learning the first skill. Small steps build momentum. And momentum is what separates those who stay stuck from those who grow. Why not you? Why not be the one who chooses to see failure as feedback, rejection as redirection, and discomfort as a sign of progress? Most people give up at the first sign of resistance. If you keep going, you've already outlasted half the crowd. And here's something people forget. The world doesn't need another copy of someone else. It needs your version, your voice, your angle, your way of solving problems. No one else can bring that to the table. So instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if I succeed?" Instead of thinking about what could go wrong, picture what happens when it goes right. Because every big win starts with a person who finally said, "Why not me?" Here's a hard truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming with the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing. It's on you. And that's not a bad thing, that's freedom. Because if it's on you, then you have the power to change it. Why not you? Why not be the one who finally breaks the cycle in your family, who proves that things can be different? Why not be the one who stops making excuses and starts making progress? Every excuse you make is valid, but it doesn't move you forward. Yes, you're tired. Yes, you're busy. Yes, the odds are stacked against you. But people with less than you, with harder situations, with fewer resources, have found a way. That's not to minimize your struggle, it's to remind you that possibility is still on the table. Imagine if you stopped using your energy to explain why you can't, and started using it to figure out how you can. The shift is powerful. When you really decide that it's possible for you, your brain starts finding reasons to support it instead of arguments to kill it. Ask yourself, do you want to live your life proving your excuses right, or proving your potential right? The choice is yours. And if not you, then who? Let's talk about fear. Fear is the biggest reason you've been holding back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of wasting time, fear of embarrassment. But here's the twist. Fear is actually proof that you're aiming in the right direction. If something doesn't scare you, it's probably not stretching you. Fear means growth is near. Fear means you're standing on the edge of something bigger than your comfort zone. And the people who grow aren't the ones who avoid fear, they're the ones who move with it. Why not you? Why not be the person who finally makes peace with fear, who uses it as a signal instead of a stop sign? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to act anyway. Here's a mindset shift. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if this teaches me something that changes my life?" Failure is temporary. Regret is permanent. 10 years from now, the sting of failure will be a story. The pain of regret will still be heavy. So lean into it. Use the fear as fuel. You're not here to stay small. You're here to see how far you can go. And the first step is answering that simple question, why not you? Think about the stories we tell ourselves. We say things like, "I'll never be good at that," or, "I wasn't born with that talent," or, "That kind of life just isn't for me." But those are stories, not facts. They're narratives you've built to protect yourself from disappointment. Why not you? Why not rewrite the story? You don't need to erase who you are, you just need to challenge the limits you've been taught to accept. The moment you do that, you open doors you didn't even know were there. Every expert was once a beginner. Every success story was once a rough draft. The only difference between them and the ones who gave up is persistence. They kept showing up when it wasn't fun, when it didn't feel promising, when nobody was clapping. And this is where most people quit, during the quiet seasons. The times when no one is watching. The times when it feels like you're putting in effort and nothing is changing. But that's when the roots are growing. That's when the foundation is being built. And if you keep going through the silence, you'll reach the breakthrough. So why not you? Why not be the one who refuses to quit, who stays in the game long enough to win it? Let's be real, success is not about luck. Yes, luck plays a role, but it's not the whole story. Success is about positioning yourself so that when opportunity comes, you're ready. And the only way to be ready is to start now, even before you feel prepared. Why not you? Why not be the person who decides to plant seeds today so you can harvest later? Too many people want the harvest without planting, watering, or weeding. They want results without the boring work. But the boring work builds the life you dream of. Consistency beats intensity. Small daily actions beat occasional bursts of motivation. You don't have to climb the mountain in one day, you just have to take one more step. One more rep. One more effort to move forward. And here's the magic. Once you start stacking small wins, you start to believe. Belief is powerful. It makes you resourceful. It makes you resilient. And soon, You're not just asking, "Why not me?" You're answering it by proving yourself right. The world isn't waiting for perfection. It's waiting for someone willing to show up imperfectly and grow in public. That can be you. Picture the version of yourself 5 years from now. Where are they? What do they look like? How do they feel when they wake up? Now ask, what did they do today, in your position, to create that future? Why not you? Why not be the one who bridges the gap between who you are and who you want to be? That version of you isn't unreachable. It's built by the choices you make right now. 5 years will pass either way. You can either arrive with regret, realizing you let fear and excuses run your life, or with pride, knowing you fought for the person you wanted to become. This isn't about chasing perfection. It's about progress. It's about building momentum. It's about looking at your future self and saying, "I did this for you." When you doubt yourself, remember, someone out there is living a life you want, not because they're better than you, but because they kept going. And every time you think of quitting, remind yourself of that simple question, why not you? Here's where it all comes together. You've been waiting for permission. You've been waiting for confidence. You've been waiting for timing. But the only thing you need is a decision, the decision to believe that your life can change, and that you are the one to change it. Why not you? Why not be the one who finally breaks through, who finally proves to themselves that they were capable all along? There's nothing special about the people who inspire you except their refusal to give up. They doubted themselves too. They failed too. They questioned if they were enough. But they kept asking the question, and they kept answering it with action. So tonight I'm passing the question to you, why not you? Why not be the one who writes the story differently, who doesn't just watch from the sidelines but steps into the arena? Because the truth is, there's no reason it can't be you, unless you keep believing the lie that it can't. Your future is waiting. Your dream is waiting. And now, so is your answer.